Hello everyone. So today we will look at two important verbs in German, which is Sein and Haben. So I will start with some examples in English and then try to explain Sein and Haben in German and how they are. So in English we say many times the sentence, for example, I am, he is, they are, and so on. And we also say something like I have, he has, and they have, and then so on. The sentence can go on. So we also have the similar equivalent in German for this I am, he is, they are. So here I, he, they are the personal pronoun which is as the subject, and then we have the corresponding verb after that, am, is, are. And also for the possession with the personal pronoun I, he, they, in English we have, has, have. So I have something, I have a car, he has a house, they have a football, right? So in the same way we also have in German, which is called sein, and for have we have haben. So the literal translation of sein and haben is, for sein it is to be, and then haben is to have, right? So this is the English translation, and then we have the conjugation of this verb. So sein and haben are in infinitive form here, infinitive form. And then you can conjugate given different personal pronoun in nominative. We have ish, tu, is, yes, wir, ihr, and zizi, and then we conjugate. So let's start with the conjugation. If you remember the conjugation rules of the verbs in German, if they are in infinitive form, how we conjugate it. So let's start with haben and we try to conjugate them and how it will look now. So for haben, the infinitive imperative form and then the stem form, right? So we have haben is the infinitive form and the stem form is hab. So you remove the en part, right? And then you conjugate the stem part. So the stem part is have here, this is stem part, and this we will conjugate, right? So then we will have ish, habe. So you add a e at the end. Du hast, sie es hat, wir haben, ihr habt, sie haben, right? Here we added t. So but in the case of do and as, this is irregular kind of conjugation, which is a bit new and does not follow exactly the same, but we have st at the end but we don't have b, so it is hast. And then in the same way you don't have b again, and then you just conjugate with t. So do as hat. Now we look at the Sein. So Sein is fully irregular in all the conjugation, and then you can see it's not the conjugation of the stem from the Sein by removing n or en. So we have Sein, and the ish is bin, du bist, sie es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, und sie sind. Right, so it's an irregular form, so here you might have to remember all these form how they're conjugated. But usually for the infant form, for regular verbs, the conjugation rules are there, but here they are in irregular nature. For sein, all the personal pronoun from ish to zz, and for haben you only have for do, as. But you can follow this table and then remember the conjugation, and then you can see how they are translated. So for example, if I am saying I am, so it will be ish bin, right? And then you say you are, then it will be in German. What do you think it will be? Du bist, right? And so on. And in the same way, we have haben. So let's try haben. So I write I have. So in German, it will be ich habe. Then it will be for example, let's do he has. Then in German, it will be er hat, right? And so on. So this follow also the similar rule and this kind of translation, and then you can complete the sentence with the object and other information. So but that's how you do the conjugation and use the Sein and Haben verb in German, right? So now we can look at some examples and try to see how they fit in different examples, right? So let's start with doing for something for Sein. So here's the example. So Sein verb we have to conjugate ergänzen Sie, and then we will read the sentence and try to conjugate which form of Sein will be there with the conjugated version. So Herr Schneider, guten Tag, wie, then dot dot dot, Ihr Name. So we have here ear. So for the ear, the Sein conjugation is wie. We can look at the table. Ear has seid, right? So you will say guten Tag, wie seid ihr Name, right? Frau Mysterik, mein Name dash 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 Mysterik, right? My Name is like I'm saying ich heiße, or mein Name, I'm telling about myself, mein Name ist, right? So it's a it's I'm telling about me, so it's in the it's a is conjugation, right? So now we can look at the other one. My nama is, my name is. Then we have here Schneider. Z Neu here. So you can see here Z is in the capital. So dash Z Neu here. Are you new here? The translation is, so then Sein will be Z, capital Z. It's Zin, right? So we will have here Zin Z Neu here. Frau Mysterik, nein, ich schon ein Jahr in Hamburg. Bin. Ich bin schon ein Jahr in Hamburg. Herr Schneider, Sie Studentin. Now here you can see it's a capital S, right? So if capitals we will it's a do case but in a formal one. So we will use again for the C. Then Herr Schneider, sind Sie Studentin. Frau Mysteric, nein, then ich bin Schülerin, right? I am a student in the school, right? So that's how we do the conjugation for Sein. If you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section why this was saying, or you can match your answer and see how good you did, right? Now let's look at Haben, right? So we will try to conjugate Haben for different sentences. So we have first dash do Geld. So we have do. So for do it will be hast. Hast du Geld? Do you have money? Nein. Aber ich dash Zeit. Ich habe Zeit. I have time. Nein, but I have time. Du Glück. And we have do here. So du hast Glück. Ich und dash kein Geld und keine Zeit. Ich habe kein Geld und keine Zeit. Right? So you can look at the table upstairs or you can write it down and then see how the conjugations are happening here given the subject, right? So dash ihr schon eine Wohnung hier in Mainz. Do you already have an apartment in Mainz? So we have ihr. So here will be ha habt, right? So you can look at the table. Habt ihr, right? With the ear we have the conjugation of habt. Now going back again to the example. Nein, wir, so we have wir as a subject, noch keine Wohnung. Wir haben noch keine Wohnung. Wir wohnen im Hotel. Herr Kim feel arbeit. Here came. So we are talking about the air, about here came. So here came hat, feel arbeit. Then air. So air is corresponding to here came only, right? So you can also say air hat feel arbeit, right? But here you can say here came hat feel arbeit. Air hat auch am Wochenende keine Freizeit, right? So that's how you do the conjugation, and then you can practice more, and then you can comment also if you don't understand any of the point. But that's how you has it. So haben is to have something, that translate to, and then you conjugate. But for haben in do and as has the conjugation is a bit different. And then we have sein is to be. So the English is the I am, you are, and so on. And Sein is irregular in all the cases, so you have different conjugation for Sein, right? So this is all for today. So next time we will look at more verbs or new concept. And if you think you want to understand more other concepts and want to work out the exercise, you can write in the comment. Then we can try to do that also in another video. Okay, bye.